bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, the human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sport.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, it's the National Drag Racing Championships. A crowd of more than 75,000 has packed its way into the Indianapolis Raceway Drag Strip, a strip that has become very famous and which today will be the scene of the National Championships. This strip is only a quarter of a mile long, but they'll be hitting speeds up to 180 miles an hour. This is Bill Fleming welcoming you to the Indianapolis Raceway Park Drag Strip. Wide World of Sports during the past 2 years has covered just about every kind of automobile race, from the 24-hour race of Le Mans to the high-powered stocks at Daytona. But today you will see something that perhaps you've never seen before. This race will last less than 10 seconds. The cars will be up to 1,000 horsepower. We'll guarantee you plenty of thrills and action from the Indianapolis Raceway Drag Strip. And now let's get underway. And this is the semifinal of the Class C Modified Sports Production class. Number 578 there is Sam Cunningham of Texas. He's against Joe Rodriguez of Hammond, Indiana, both in 61 Corvettes. And it's Cunningham on the inside who is out in front. As they come to the finish line, it is Cunningham in a breeze. So we'll see him again in the finals coming up very shortly in this class. We'll remind you we're down to the semifinals and the finals in many of these classes, which means that these cars have survived a week of competition which has involved more than 1,000 cars in some 70 classes. And here's a final coming up right now. This is in the Ace Stock Automatics. Farthest from the camera, Ron Mandel in a 63 Plymouth. Closest to the camera is Bill Abraham in a 62 Pontiac. This is a trophy run, which means it's the finals in this particular class. These cars capable of 110 to 112 miles an hour. Here they go. And the Pontiac out in front just a little bit here as Bill Abraham takes the lead at the start. And he's got too much of a lead for Mandela to catch up, and it is Bill Abraham in the 62 Pontiac with an elapsed time here of 13:28 or 109.48 miles per hour. So we have another final coming up too here. Next will be the Ace Stock final, and this should be a dandy. Moving to the starting line now, the 62 Pontiac, farthest from the camera, is driven by Don Gay of Dickinson, Texas, and nearest the camera, Roth Swain driving the 62 Chevy from Clinton, Ohio. Here they go. Pontiac getting a good start. Don Gay in the lead here as they move to the halfway point. Chevy moving up a little bit, but Gay is going to take it. And they flash the ET. It's 12.81 or 111.52. So Don Gay is the winner in the Ace Stock final in his 62 Pontiac. Another final trophy run here coming up. This is Sam Cunningham, whom you saw a moment ago in his 61 Corvette number 578 against Dick Collins of Newcastle, Delaware. This is the C Modified Sports Production Finals. Now you see the Christmas tree here. The lights, 4 amber lights and a green one, and if anybody jumps, the red light goes on in that particular lane. Strictly head-to-head competition. They've been going at it all week. Here's 456, closest to the camera, Dick Collins in the 56 Corvette with a 62 engine, and Sam Cunningham in the 61 Corvette, farthest from the camera. Here they go. It's a good start. Cunningham taking a slight lead. Now he lengthens that lead. And as they come to the finish line, it is Sam Cunningham in the 61 Corvette. The elapsed time, 12.21 seconds, 114.94 miles per hour, and he takes home the trophy. Boy, these fellows really churning it up here at Raceway Park in Indianapolis, Indiana. And coming up now, we have the semifinals in the A-Gas class, and these are a lot of fun. You'll see a 33 Willys in this one and a 51 Anglia. Here they go. It's Sanders McEllia entry, 295 in the Willys, farthest from the camera, and George Altizer of Arlington, Virginia in the 51 Anglia, closest to the camera, and he wins it. Altizer, that's the car incidentally powered by a 63 Chevy engine. So Altizer will move into the finals of the A-Gas. And now here's another semifinal in the A-Gas Supercharged division. Stonewoods and Cook entry. The national record holder in a 40 Willys supercharged old engine. And here is George Montgomery of Dayton, Ohio, former national record holder, out of retirement now, trying to take the crown away from the Stonewoods Cook entry, driven by Doug Cook of Los Angeles. Everybody's been waiting for this one. This is the World Series of Drag Racing. Everybody anticipating this all year long, looking for the finals, the national championship. And here we go with the semifinals. It's Montgomery taking a slight lead. A good start by Montgomery. And he's going to take him. Montgomery slices across, and he defeats the former record holder Doug Cook in the Stonewoods Cook 40 Willys. And so Montgomery will move into the finals, and we hope before he does get into the finals, we'll have a chance to talk with him, because I think he's going to have a great story for us. Coming up now, another semifinal in the A-Gas. It's the Carroll Schmidt in 408, farthest from the camera, in a 41 Willys, and it's Henry Putnam in a 48 Anglia, and it's the Anglia on the inside that's got the lead. And it's Henry Putnam of Louisville, Kentucky, who will move into the finals against George Altizer in that division. All right, right now let's talk to George Montgomery. A little bit earlier, in fact, a few seconds ago, he won the other semifinal in this A-Gas Supercharged division. George, you've got a beautiful little Willys here. What year is it?
1933 Willys coupe.
And it's all fiberglass, I understand.
The entire front end doors and rear fenders and floorboard and firewall are fiberglass.
Okay, now, you know, it's a 1933 Willys. Now, move the hood up for him. This is where you really get a surprise. That does not resemble anything like a 1933 Willys, does it, George? What is this?
That is a 1963 327 Chevrolet engine supercharged.
Okay, put it down. We'll talk about this, because I think that anybody interested in racing would like to know, you know, what does it cost to get one of these things ready to go for a championship race like this?
Well, this car has in excess of $10,000 invested in it.
And what's the fastest you've ever done?
Last week, I turned 143 mile an hour.
Boy, and that's in 1,320 feet. Do you get any sensation as a driver of great acceleration in there? Any G-load build-up or anything?
Well, you're pretty tense, especially during races like this was. The acceleration sensation is great. There's no question about it. They carry the front wheels pretty well. And it's not just jerking up like some cars, but this one pretty well carries them quite a ways.
Did you have any kind of a rivalry with the one you were in there with Doug Cook in the semifinal?
Well, see, I was champion for 59, 60, 61 when I retired, and when he took over. And, of course, word of mouth and advertisements have pretty well cued me to come back in again. It was only 3 weeks ago that I bought this car out of retirement to come back here again.
Well, no wonder you got such a great applause, and I know everybody out here from Ohio is rooting for you in these finals, and we'll be coming up with those in just a moment. Thanks very much, and good luck, George.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll be having the finals in just a moment here at the National Drag Racing Championships on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Here's a good word on how to make the most of your money from the Foundation for Commercial Banks. Back at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, we're all set now for the finals in the A-Gas Supercharged division. And George Montgomery is back in his car, the fellow we just talked to a moment ago, in this 33 Willys, coming up in the finals against Gordon Selkirk of Peoria, Illinois, who's in a 35 Willys, powered by a 61 old supercharged engine. And this is the one right here. We'll be going in the finals against George Montgomery from Dayton, Ohio, former national record holder, who would like to come out of retirement today and win in this A-Gas Supercharged division. Starter putting them right on the line now. Neither car can be over before the Christmas tree is counted down. There you see the lights, and they're off. It's a good start. And Montgomery gets a great start on the inside. Look at him go. And it's Montgomery in a breeze as he flashes across the finish line, beating Gordon Selkirk of Peoria, Illinois. And you can tell by the crowd reaction, very happy they are indeed. The elapsed time, 10.54, 138.46 miles per hour for George Montgomery. getting set now for the semifinals in the Super Stock Automatics. 63 Dodges pretty well have this one under control. Al Ekstrand, farthest from the camera, in the Lawman car, and then Jim Thornton, this is Ekstrand, from Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan, the 63 Dodge, and Jim Thornton from Royal Oak, Michigan. Here they go. Both out of the same stable, so to speak. Here we go. As the Ram Charger on the inside takes the lead, and it's Jim Thornton out in front. No question there about who will go into the finals in the A-Stock Automatics. Jim Thornton of Royal Oak, Michigan. Coming up now, the trophy run, the finals in the D-Gas competition. Gene Moody from Bloomfield, Illinois, in that 55 Chevy, farthest from the camera and closest to the camera, Dave Hales of Arlington, Virginia, in a 37 Willys Chevy powered. So this is the finals in this D-Gas competition, and it's a good, even start. Looks like Hales has a slight lead. Now the Chevy moves up. Gene Moody takes the lead, and he goes across by half a car lane. So Gene Moody of Bloomfield, Illinois, has an elapsed time of 12.58 seconds. Calculating quickly, it's 110.97 miles per hour for the winner, Gene Moody. Now we're getting set for the Super Stock Automatic finals. You just saw Jim Thornton a moment ago. They're back up to the start line. He's in against Herm Moser of Detroit, both 63 Dodges. This is the finals. And it's Thornton again taking the lead on the inside, 979. And he's got to take it. And he goes across in front with an elapsed time of 12.23 seconds, 116.42 miles per hour in that 63 Dodge. Finals in C-Gas competition. Larry Teeter of Elgin, Illinois, in a 32 Ford Chevy powered, and Charlie Hill in a 40 Willys. 227 is Larry Teeter, and 106 is Charlie Hill. Watch this car, incidentally, do wheel stands during this week of competition. The tremendous horsepower, that 62 Chevy engine, and the way he's got, look at it, the way he's got it balanced every time he shifts, all 4 speeds, it handstands practically, and there goes Charlie Hill across the finish line, and he wins in the finals of the C-Gas competition. Very popular fellow, former record holder, and his elapsed time, 12.29. Now a trophy run in the G-Gas competition. We have a 34 Willys that you're looking at right now, and a 51 Henry J. A lot of different classes here, some 70 in all, depending upon displacement, of course, of the engine and the way the chassis is built. 155, that's Bobby Vaughn of Washington. And from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Jim Harris in the Henry J, closest to the camera. This is the finals in this G-Gas competition. The G there that you see on the windshield and also on the side window. Jim Harris getting a good lead at the start. A good fast start by Harris. But look at that Bobby Vaughn in the 34 Willys. A good race here as Vaughn moves out in front, and he takes it despite falling back at the start. So the winner of this one, Bobby Vaughn in the 34 Willys, powered by a 57 GMC engine, 13.79 the elapsed time. And now the finals in the E-Gas competition. You might mention, boy, they really churn these races out. You can see more than 1,000 cars a day. They're all set to go now as Glenn Stewart and Jerry Murphy will battle it out in E-Gas. Jerry Murphy on the inside in the 55 Chevy. Glenn Stewart in a 52 Chevy is falling way back, and it's Jerry Murphy from Auburn, Massachusetts, going across. Elapsed time 13.54 or 103.80 miles per hour, and he wins it in E-Gas competition. Well, we'll have more action from the National Drag Racing Championships here in Indianapolis, including the big AA dragster competition, capable of 180 miles an hour, coming up very shortly. The Gillette Safety Razor Company is bringing you this segment of ABC's Wide World of Sports. Well, we're going to take a break right now in the National Drag Racing Championships at Indianapolis Raceway Park for action of a different kind. These are the finals in the D-Dragster competition for the slingshot-type frame cars, older Ford engines, the 6-cylinder engines. Farthest from the camera is Pete Shadiger, last year's winner and defending champion in '96. And number 28 is Buddy Hammer of Oxnard, California. And here they go, a good start by both of them. And Shadiger now has taken the lead as they hit the halfway mark. And Shadiger wins it. Car number 96, powered by a 48 Ford flathead engine, 10.85, 125.69 is his top speed. Another trophy run coming up right now on the A competition class. Bill Bagwell of Collierville, Tennessee in 463. This is a 23 Ford T Roadster powered by a Buick engine. And number 37 is James Neely of Middletown, Ohio. Chevy powered 23 T Roadster. Here they go. These are capable of 140 plus miles an hour. Look at them jump. Real good start by Bagwell, but a great finish here by Neely, and he just noses out Bagwell at the end. Elapsed time 9.82 and a top speed of 143.26 miles per hour. That's the combination street dragster type and slingshot type of racer, and they really move. Okay, here is B competition now. And this is the final trophy race. Ronnie Bone, farthest from the camera, and Frank Turk of Indianapolis, closest to the camera in number 59. 559 is Ronnie Bone. The 39 Fiat is the car number 59, powered by a Chevy engine. And here they go, and Frank Turk just leaves Bone at the starting line, and Frank Turk will win this one easily. This is the trophy run of B competition, and Frank Turk the winner. Elapsed time 10.39. Top speed 134.12 miles per hour. Now the double-A altered as they come to the start line. Semifinal. Number 202 is Eddie Edwards of Simpsonia, Kentucky, a 32 Bantam Crosby he's driving. And he's in there against Eugene Gamm of Lucasville, Ohio. Look at Eddie Edwards go in that 32 Bantam, and he's really got it smoking with a Chevy engine in it. And he crosses the finish line ahead of Eugene Gamm, so Eddie Edwards will go into the finals here of the double-A altered class. Now the double-A competition coupe class. This is a slingshot dragster with a car body on it. Number 54, the Boll Weevil, is Harrison Jacobs as the driver. 57 Chrysler engine, and Wayne Morgan of Dayton, Ohio is his competition here. Trophy run, and look at Jacobs go. He's got the lead by a mile, and he's going to take it easily. The calculator gives us 9.21. Elapsed time 162.45 miles per hour, and that is a new record. So we'll be back in just a moment to talk with Harrison Jacobs in the Boll Weevil. We'll have more action from the National Drag Racing Championships in just a moment on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Right now, you're looking at the Boll Weevil, which is the winner in the Class AA Competition Coupe Division. And right here is the owner, Ray Godman, and the driver, Harrison Jacobs. Fellas, I'm kind of interested in just exactly how many horsepower you've got. Ray, being the owner, you probably qualified to answer that.
Yes, Bill. It develops approximately 650 horsepower at 5,000 RPM. It's a 472 cubic inch Chrysler engine, 57-year model, blown and injected.
Blown and injected. Now explain that.
It has fuel injection sitting on top of a 671 GMC blower, which packs your air and your fuel into the engine under approximately 20 pounds per square inch of pressure in the cylinder.
Well, something just occurred to me. How many gallons of fuel would you burn on a quarter-mile run?
Approximately half a gallon to a quarter mile on gas. Now, on alcohol or the other things, you burn quite a bit more. But gas is not too much.
Too, isn't it?
Right. That's
right here, of course, they're running strictly gas. Well, now let's talk to Harrison Jacobs, who won this division. And Harrison, I'd kind of like to know what it feels to go 162.45 miles an hour. Is that the fastest we're going here?
No, sir. About 2 months ago, we turned 179 in it, in the 841, which is the best it's ever turned. Yeah. But it wasn't on an official strip or anything, so they wouldn't give us a record on it.
How long does it take you to slow this down?
About a quarter of a mile with a chute.
Yeah, you got that chute. Do you get any jolt or anything when that chute hits?
You get quite a bit. It's a ribbon chute, cutting ribbons, and you won't get the full pack of it. If you had a regular chute, you just yank the whole car backwards.
Right up on end, huh? Well, it's a beautiful car, and Ray, congratulations to you for being the owner, and Harrison, congratulations to you. And I know you fellows are very proud to take that record back to Memphis.
Thank you. Right, we sure are, and this makes our 6th win. I have participated in all 9 nationals, and this is the 6th time that we have won in our particular class, Bill. And I believe
you can make it number 7 next year, huh?
Well, thank you very much.
Okay. Now let's get back to the action on the track.
You've just seen 162.45 miles an hour, and I think we're going to have something even faster right here because these are the big double-A dragsters. The fastest dragster in the competition, capable of 1,000 horsepower. Tony Nancy in his Dodge-powered dragster against Don Garlitz of Tampa, Florida, also Dodge-powered. This is Garlitz on the inside, closest to the camera. The king of the fuelers, so-called, but he's running in the gas competition only today. He was the runner-up in the gas dragster last year. The countdown goes, and here goes Garlitz. Good start by both of them, but look at Garlitz move out. He's going to win it easily. He does, and he will go into the finals now in this double-A dragster competition and try to win where he lost a year ago. You'll note the parachute coming out to slow these dragsters up. He's hitting about 175 miles an hour there, 180 at the finish line. Here's a B dragster, not quite as fast, but still plenty powerful. Number 38 is Johnny Yount of Marion, Indiana. Chevy-powered dragster. And his competition will be number 503, closest to the camera here, Ray Simpson of Grand Prairie, Texas. We've had entries from all over the United States coming here today. More than 1,000 cars entered in this competition. Here they go. Johnny Yount with a good start. And look at Simpson move up. It's going to be a close one. Now Yount moves out in front. A closing spurt, and so John Yount will go to the finals in the B dragster competition as we move toward the culmination of a week's racing here at Indianapolis, Indiana. Now the trophy run in the A dragster. This is number 382, Harry Hovis of St. Louis, in a 63 Chevy-powered dragster, and he'll be in against Dave Schaefer of Homestead Falls, Ohio, also in a Chevy-powered dragster. Here they go. Look at him burn the rubber off those rear tires. Good start by Harry Hovis, but look at Schaefer move. Schaefer moving up even, and he takes him. Despite a good start by Hovis, Schaefer takes it. And that's the trophy run, the finals in the A dragster competition. The champion, Dave Schaefer of Homestead Falls, Ohio. That was 156.25 top speed, and the elapsed time 9.48 seconds for Schaefer. Now a trophy run in the B dragster competition. You saw Johnny Yount a moment ago from Marion, Indiana. Winning semifinal, he's in there now against Albert Schramm of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Schramm will be farthest from the camera here. 57 Chevy-powered dragster, and here is Johnny Yount. Back now to see if he can win, and look at him jump. It's a good start, though, a good start, and it is Yount taking the lead. They move to the halfway mark, and it's very even. And it's Yount just by half a car length. So Johnny Yount has won the B dragster trophy in the elapsed time of 9.78, top speed 150.25 miles an hour. That's really moving in a quarter of a mile. These fellows have to be very careful when they come up to that start line, because if they're just a fraction over before the start of the race, the red light will go on. Okay, here's the trophy race, and this is in the A altered class. Number 505 is Nolly Simpson of Chesapeake, Virginia, and he's in the 23 Ford T with a Chevy engine. Former national champion, and he's in against Charlie Smith, Oklahoma City. A red light is on. A red light is on in the far lane, and even though Nolly Simpson appears to win this one, he's going to be disqualified. So Charlie Smith, here's the camera, will win the trophy in the A altered competition. A tough break for Simpson. And Smith wins it with an elapsed time of 10.11, 140 miles an hour. Now we have another trophy run coming up, this one in the B altered class. Paul Horning back in his car number 548. That's the 27 Ford T with a 58 Chevy engine in it. Looks like a little truck, doesn't it? And Dick Stocksdale of Baltimore in number 375. is in against him. So this is the trophy run, the finals. Here they go. And Horning takes the lead. And Stocksdale is in trouble. The car is off the track in front of us, and it's going to move onto the inside. And Horning is going to win this one easily. And it looks like something locked up on Stocksdale's car. And Horning takes it with an elapsed time of 10.92 or 128.57 for his top speed. Dick Stocksdale getting out. They're running over with a couple of extinguishers, and the crash wagon will go over. And we can see there's oil dripping out from underneath the pan, so it looks very much like Stocksdale blew an engine right at the start. These engines are subjected to tremendous pressure. So Hornick is the winner. Now here's the big one. Elza Poppin, driven by Ron Abbott of Albany, New York, in against Don Garlitz. Closest to the camera. This is the AA Dragster competition, the finals, the trophy run, and the world's fastest dragsters are right here, getting ready to go. Look at them go. Burning off that rubber, and Garlitz takes slightly, boy, they're just wheel to wheel. Look at them come down here. Very close at the finish line, and it is lane one. Closest to the camera, Don Garlitz, the winner in a very close final race with Ron Abbott. It is 8.72 elapsed time. The speed, top speed, 174.08 miles per hour when they hit the finish line. We'll be back to talk with Don Garlitz in just a moment. Now, Newport Menthol Cigarettes shows you how an expert looks at your favorite sport.
Well, here's a happy guy right now, Don Garlitz, who has just won the Class AA Dragster competition, and gee, it must give you a thrill to win this thing with gas in that tank.
Certainly does, being we run fuel most all the rest of the time.
Actually, this is kind of a new car for you, isn't it, Don?
Right, it's brand new for this meet, just built it.
How fast did you go in it on that final run? I didn't get the final figures there.
Final run was 174 miles an hour with an 8.73 elapsed time.
Oh, that's tremendous. Well, actually, you've earned the title of the King of the Dragsters. You actually started back, 10 years ago, before anybody even heard of it. Well, maybe Mickey Thompson.
Well, they were running on the coast when we started racing. Florida and California were the first. I think California was a little ahead of Florida, but in 1950 we were holding drag races.
It's an intriguing thing. I can understand why guys go around a track, but I've often wondered how you could spend all that time and all that money to go for 8.73 seconds.
That's the thing. It's the challenge of that. See, in the beginning they were running in 15, 16 seconds, and the experts all put limitations of, ridiculous times, 12, 13 seconds, and then everybody just went to beat that, and finally they got them down into the sevens in places.
Well, I'll tell you this, as far as sports are concerned, this is absolutely the most expensive in terms of dollars per second in all of sport.
Right.
Let's take a look at the interior of this. I think it's kind of an unusual car in that you've got things in there that we don't normally see in let's say, in an automobile.
It's built entirely for acceleration, going in a straight line. There's absolutely nothing on this car that's not vital to the operation of it. There's no pieces, not even one washer is on this car just because we think it looks good.
Yeah, this I see is the
that releases
parachute.
The parachute.
Right.
This is the brake. This little thing, the aiming device or steering wheel or handle grip, what you want to call it, steers it. The kill switch for the magneto, and the clutch and throttle pedal, and that's about it.
I imagine it's too comfortable in there, isn't it?
No, it's not too comfortable.
Well, congratulations to you, Don Garlitz. I know it's been a big victory for you in '63. Hope you repeat in '64.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Well, that's just about the story here from the Indianapolis Raceway Park and the Drag Racing Championships of 1963. Before leaving, we'd like to thank Ed Eaton, the director of the races, also Ben Cossert, who was the publicity director, and Monk Reynolds, who helped with our spotting.
Next week, ABC's Wide World of Sports will be in Rockford, Illinois for the National Karting Championships. Competition will be contested in both light and heavy classes in these unique vehicles, which attain speeds of 65 miles an hour over Rockford's half-mile asphalt course, and it's complete with left and right-hand turns. From the speed of karting, you'll move to the grace of synchronized swimming at the National AAU Synchronized Swimming Championships for women in Silver Spring, Maryland. Talented young women performed the music before ABC's underwater and overhead cameras in this beautiful and graceful event. Wide World of Sports is Roone Arledge. Irish football produced by William Seaman. Drag racing coverage produced by Chuck Howard. Directed by Andy Sedaris. And now this is Bill Fleming along with Jim McKay and Michael O'Hare inviting you to join us again next week. This program was originated on videotape. On Sunday afternoons, it's exciting American Football League play on ABC television, leading to the league championship and all-star games. And don't forget, on Friday nights, it's the fight of the week over most of these ABC stations.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, the human drama of athletic competition. This has been ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Brought to you by the Gillette Safety Razor Company, makers of the all-new and streamlined slim adjustable razor that adjusts to your skin and beard, and those super blue blades for all but unbelievable shaving comfort. By United Delco. For the fresh new starting power of Delco batteries and car care you can count on, look for the United Delco service sign and simply say, Delco. And by the Foundation for Commercial Banks, representing the full-service bank where you have your checking account. A sports programs production, this has been an ABC Television Network sports presentation.
This isn't the way most of us measure time, but many people do. In hundredths of a second at the Pomona Drags, heart of America's biggest drawing automotive sport, drag racing, where weekends pull thousands to watch machines and men matched against each other and against time. Roadsters, sports cars, stock cars, rubber-burning rail jobs racing the clock that counts time not in seconds, but hundredths of a second. Starting from a standstill and in 1/4 of a mile, blasting to speeds over 170 miles per hour. And it takes plenty to bring a crowd of speed fans to their feet cheering. It takes winners. Dodge winners. And winners powered by Dodge. This one holds the national record. A screaming 177 miles per hour at the end of the quarter mile. Many dragsters select Dodge for top performance, dependable performance. And here's a surprise for the clock watchers. Meet Dick Boynton, star newscaster and disc jockey from San Diego. He's a man of two loves, hot machinery, Dodge by choice, and Mary, his wife, who's as much at home with a carburetor as a kitchen. The surprise? A 63 Dodge D100 pickup. Boxy? Sure. Functional, too, has to be. 70% of the weight is up front, where it belongs, offsetting the loads it's built to carry. And it weighs in at 3,900 pounds. 3 times the heft of the rail jobs running today. No stick shift either. Automatic transmission. It's a truck, let's face it. It's a truck, but a Dodge truck. Dick and his Dodge D100 don't like the smell of burning rubber, so they outrun it, trumping a far lighter, lower Chevy passenger car, crossing the quarter-mile line at a crowd-pleasing 110 miles an hour. Almost evening, and another day of Dodge's proven performance. These laboratories on wheels add a new measure of performance, a new measure of Dodge dependability that adds fuel to selling Dodge around the clock.
This man is an electrical engineer from Marion, Indiana. This man is a truck driver from Portsmouth, Ohio. This man is a policeman from Pomona, California. These men are building contractors from Odessa, Texas. This man is a city councilman from the City of Industry, California. This man is president of an engineering firm in Atlanta, Georgia. They've all come together at one place for one purpose: drag racing. The story of this year's Nationals begins on a warm Wednesday morning, late in August, at the Speedway Shopping Center near Indianapolis, Indiana. This is where competitors from 36 states, the District of Columbia, and Canada find out whether their cars qualify as entries in the 1963 National Championships. The field is limited to 1,000, but there are many more applicants standing by, hoping for a chance if any of the entries are disqualified. The ages of drivers range from 16 to 61. 70 classes of cars will compete for 70 class awards and the class winners for 6 eliminator titles. More than $50,000 in prizes await the Big Go winners. The idea in drag racing is to get into the lowest competition class with as low a weight to horsepower ratio as possible and with most of that weight on the rear wheels. It's like a fighter sweating down until he's all muscle, no fat, but with the punch where it counts. This is a B dragster and will run in the B dragster class. If it wins the class, it will run for the competition eliminator title. But dragsters, no matter how lean, have to be a certain size, length, and weight to carry certain types of engines. There are set limits. This car is in the factory experimental class, and the driver from Pennsylvania always has one of the top cars in the nation. Because some of the equipment is not generally available, this car is assigned to the A factory experimental class. Stocks and dragsters, representing the extremes of the drag racing scale, are relatively easy to classify. But the modifieds, the cars in between, are hard to assess. Inspectors really have to know automobiles to know how to classify cars like this one. It has a modified 1949 Fiat body and a hybrid Chrysler engine. The verdict? It will run in the A altered class. The Hearst Shifter Hospital provides technical and mechanical assistance to anyone who needs help. Many contestants take advantage of this friendly service. But the National Hot Rod Association inspectors aren't concerned with the running gear alone. The driver's search for more speed has to be equated with safety and car handling. Roll bars must be a specified thickness. On this C dragster, they must be 1 5/8 inches in diameter if everything is A-OK. The next stop is the pit area of Indianapolis Raceway Park. In broad general terms, cars are either hot or stock. They're either factory assembled or showroom available, or they're modified in some specific way. Time for repairs and last-minute adjustments? Not much. There are 2 days of practice and 999 other guys who want time on the strip, too. At best, a driver and crew may have 4 or 5 chances to practice, a total of 40 to 50 seconds of running time to find out what's what. Dragsters have to be sharp. They have to know their cars inside and out. Wally Parks, National Hot Rod Association president, checks to see if everything is going all right. There is always something that can be done or redone better. Some minor adjustment or finishing touch that they feel may make the difference between winning and losing. The body may be an early 1950 vintage, but the power plant, this year's latest model. Look like a parachute? It is. At 180 miles an hour plus, which is the speed some of these rails hit, you need real stopping power, or you run out of road. Now, the staging area official checks the lineup of waiting cars. He relays word to the timing tower and gets the signal that the strip is ready for action. A pair of dragsters are first up, and like all entries, without self-starters, they must be pushed up to the line. When the cars cross the starting line, they will break the light beams and start the electronic timers in the timing tower. Ready in the right lane, ready in the left lane. Keep your eyes on the Christmas tree, the electronic starter. The sequence of lights takes 2.5 seconds from top to bottom. And they're away. Practice or not, it's all out all the way. It's only 440 yards from start to finish. When the cars cross the finish line, they break the finish line light beams and stop the timers. The first car to cross the finish line also trips the lane lights, which are provided to tell the spectators which lane won. When the figures are relayed to the record keepers, a card is filled out that tells you your speed and elapsed time, accurate to the thousandth of a second. Runs are often so close that only the electronic clocks can separate the winner and the loser. Here's a speed merchant from another racing circuit, enjoying the proceedings. Parnelli Jones, the fastest man in Indianapolis Speedway history, with J.C. Agajanian, his car owner. Here's Herman Moser in a Dodge against a Pontiac convertible leading off a stock car practice session. Bud Faubel in a 62 Dodge blows off Carmen Falcone in a 63 Plymouth. Bill Golden in another 63 Dodge takes Tom Steiner in a 61 Chevy Corvette. In the near lane, it's Charlie Smith, the leader in the World Point standings. His 8 Altered will run the distance in a little over 10 seconds. Some don't run at all and have to be pushed away from the starting line. Others jump the start. Better not do that in competition, or the red light will disqualify the car. When you think of the imagination that created these cars of all shapes and sizes, when you think of the ingenuity that turned a dream into hurtling metal, you realize that the National Championship drag races are perhaps the world's greatest display of automotive ingenuity in action. Run. Move up. Run. Move up. Go. 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 Swerves off the strip and cartwheels into the air. He scatters parts all over the area. Luckily, all he got was a scratch on his forehead. Saturday morning. Early. The sun is hardly up, but the crowds are pouring into Indianapolis Raceway Park. Some have stayed all night. They'll get a good seat. The crowds wait anxiously for the big go to start. More eager fans jam into the park. By 9 o'clock, the parking area is full, and there isn't a seat left. The crowd this year is estimated to exceed 75,000. Jim Johnson, who later won the B-Stock automatic class with his 62 Dodge, leads off with a promising practice run. Milo Coleman takes home the D-Stock trophy with his little Lord Otis. Jim Thornton, last year's runner-up for Mr. Stock Eliminator, keeps Dodge hopes very much alive with another impressive run. Now, here comes the factory experimental classes. Dave Strickler wins the A Factory Experimental class and receives a gold wristwatch awarded to all 70 class winners by George Hurst. Two Pontiacs duel in the B Factory Experimental class with Jim Wangers, the number 926, winning it. Another Dodge winner, Ron Root, tops the C Factory Experimental class. When a class winner comes off the strip, his car is weighed, inspected again, and given another fuel check. If any infraction is found, he's disqualified. This year, 7 class winners were disqualified for a variety of reasons. The Dodges had no trouble. Dr. Dean Hill, a professor from the chemistry department of New Mexico State University, supervises the National Hot Rod Association fuel checks. Only service station pump gasoline, available locally, may be used. Sunday is another day. A day of more class eliminations. A day of more fun. The Golden Shifter Girls and the Canadian Indian Bob Beezer parade up and down the strip to the delight of the fans. George Hurst, president of Hurst Performance Products Incorporated, has never missed the national championship drag races. This year again, he and his men are on the scene where they can personally talk with the participants and gain first-hand information about their needs. Now, it's time for action. Ed Eaton, National Hot Rod Association event director, checks with the cameramen and the starters to make sure everything is ready. Don Garlitz leads off in his Dodge-powered AA dragster against Ron Abbott in Hellzapoppin'. It's Garlitz all the way. Another Dodge-powered machine, Jim Parsons, a street roadster with a 63 Dodge engine, wins easily. More Dodge winners. Herman Moser takes a super stock automatic run as the big stockers take to the strip. And Jim Thornton, in the companion Ram Chargers Dodge, wraps up the super stock automatic class trophy. Dodge is going great at the National. Bill Abraham from Akron, Ohio, wins the A-Stock automatic crown in a 62 Pontiac. And here comes one of the high points of the whole meet. The Stone Woods Cook entry in the far lane and George Montgomery in the near lane. It's California versus Ohio in a battle of the gassers. Cook dared Montgomery to run against him, and this is the chance he's been begging for. Montgomery walks away with the run, and later, the A Gasser Trophy. Next, it's the F Gasser Trophy run. And Dave Koppel's Flintstone Flyer is the easy victor. In the C-Gas class, it's Larry Teeter, last year's class winner, against Porky Zartman. Zartman's car is this year's winner. Ira Walden of Nashville, Tennessee, pushes him on. In order to stay in competition, the driver must get his car across the finish line. He makes it. Man, what a drag. Monday, finals day. First, it's class against class in the little eliminator category. The Flintstone Flyer versus Old Reliable. With unequal classes running, the handicap system goes into effect. This gives the little guy with a good car a fighting chance in the final elimination. The F gasser takes off, and then the A factory experimental job. But Dave Koffel can't hold his lead, and Dave Strickler comes on to win the heat. Next up, Jim Wangers versus Jim Johnson. The B Factory Experimental takes the modified sports car, and the stage is set for the final elimination. Only a small handicap this time, but Wangers jumps the gun, and Dave Strickler wins the little eliminator trophy with an elapsed time of 12.1 seconds. Now, the junior eliminator finalists move up. It's Jones, the veteran, against the Weiler Ryder B Street Roadster for the junior eliminator title. Scott Ryder wins the trophy with a speed of 118.11 miles an hour. George Montgomery leads off the middle eliminator finals with a win over Ralph Dees. Run, Peter Schattinger in the near lane, last year's little eliminator, loses to Hugh Tucker. And here's the middle eliminator final. George Montgomery versus Gene Allitzer, who previously drew a bye because he was odd man in the 9-man field. Both cars are A gassers with Montgomery supercharged. George Montgomery, who retired at 27 after winning the Little Eliminator title 2 years in a row, comes back at 30 to take the Middle Eliminator trophy. Into the competition Eliminator semifinals. Jim Neely outruns the world's points champion Charlie Smith in lane number 2. Next up, the Yount brothers take on Harrison Jacobs' Bo Weevil. Yount in a B dragster versus Neely in a competition coupe. Yount in the near lane is never headed as he wins the competition eliminator title with a speed of 151 flat and time of 9.51 seconds. And now for the big boys, the rails. It's Gordon Collette versus Connie Kalita, co-holders of the national speed record. They blast off, and Kalita, despite the fact that he dropped his oil plug, wins the heat as Glenn is disqualified. The question is, will he be ready to run in the semifinals? Action stops while the track is clean. Next, Bob Vodnik, an unknown driver from Chicago, beats Tony Nancy. In a close-fought battle, Vodnik wins it to go into the semifinal against Kalita. And here it is. Bob Vodnik, a 19-year-old part-time carpenter, versus the 25-year-old veteran, Kalita. Vodnik off like... Here's the upset of the year in the making. But Vodnik isn't a hero yet. He's got to beat Big Daddy, Don Garlitz. Knowing that Vodnik had been posting better elapsed time, Garlitz gambles and jumps the start. He's disqualified with an 8.67 elapsed time, while Vodnik is declared Mr. Eliminator. Vodnik covered the 440 yards in 8.62 seconds, hitting a speed of 174.75 miles an hour. Pretty good for a 19-year-old kid in his first year of racing. And now, it's stock eliminated. The drivers anxiously, nervously for the final eliminations. Jim Thornton, an automotive engineer, looks under the hood again. Everything's got to be just right. Al Ekstrand, a lawyer from Grosse Pointe Woods checks with his chief mechanic. He's satisfied. Herman Moser in Ram Chargers 2 tackles Dave Strickler's A Stalker with Bill Jenkins behind the wheel. But Jenkins doesn't have a chance against the engineer from Detroit. The Dodge beats the Chevy, and Moser goes into the all-Dodge stock final against Al Ekstrand. This should be a hot one. And it is. It's neck and neck. But at the halfway point, Moser pulls ahead to win the stock eliminator title with a time of 12.22 seconds and a speed of 116.73 miles an hour. Dodge is the top stock car at the National, the 1963 National. Exciting right down to the last run. Upsets, popular winners, and the accent on youth. But why do they come? Why do more than 75,000 people come to Indianapolis Raceway Park to see the Nationals? And why have hundreds of thousands of people all over the country made drag racing the fastest growing sport in America? Why? Because this is the age of the automobile, and drag racing is a way of testing everything a car can do in 440 yards. Hearst Performance Products Incorporated is proud to be a part of this growth, and not only provides a service to the youth of the nation in their participation, but also serves as the manufacturer of the famous Hearst Synchro-Lock and Competition Plus 4 speed shifters.